The truth shall set you free.
Now, it looks like Pyro did a video based off of something that Shokyo said in response to how Mass Effect can't play 1080p on Wii U. His response, Shokyo's response to that was because it's a port it's a port that was made for a console that doesn't even do 720p as a standard. And why would a third-party developer take the time and money to graphically improve the game so much for a years-old port? I mean, if a company does do it, that's great. But why would we expect them to? These are ports of last-gen games. He's absolutely right. Now, first and foremost, can the Wii U do 1080p? The answer is yes. How do we know? Well, as far as we know it, the Wii U will be running the graphical card for the HD Radeon 5000, okay? Zephyrnix owns a Radeon HD 4000 graphical card. So if the 4000, its predecessor, can go ahead and do 1080p with no problem, it's pretty safe to assume that the successor, the 5000 series, which will be located in the Wii U, should be able to do it. Not only that, but it's going to be able to go ahead and show games in 1080p while streaming. Did anyone even think about that? You'll be able to go ahead and play Wii U games 1080p while it's actually going ahead and streaming another video source from wirelessly, of all things, to your actual gamepad. That speaks in volumes, you know? That being said, let's go ahead and read over what Shokyo said and kind of go over it. He said, and why would a third-party developer take the extra time and money to graphically improve a game so much for a year-old port? He's right. Think about it like this. The game is, in fact, a year old, right? PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC gamers have already gotten a game. So it's already in the impressions of the developer that, hey, these guys aren't going to go ahead and rebuy the game just because it's on a new system. You know, it's in their heads anyway. I know a lot of people who do it. I have all three Mass Effects. I'm actually thinking about getting Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U. In fact, I definitely might. I most likely will. Anyway, here's the thing though. Last time I heard, you can't, just like you can't play sales, Pyro, you can't play resolutions either. You know, you can't play resolutions and you can't play sales. You know. And quite frankly, I'm happy they didn't put the time and money to quote-unquote raising the resolution. Who cares? Especially since we're gamers. I want the time and money to be put into gameplay, which, by the way, it was. It was actually put into gameplay. They added brand new weapons. They added a new tactical feature where I can go ahead and swap out all of my powers and abilities on the fly, weapons and all that on the fly without even pausing the game. I can also go ahead and without pausing the game, whatever, I can go ahead and tell exactly where my character needs to go from a top-down view, so that way I will have more of a tactical advantage versus the AI characters who are on there. So for me to be able to go ahead and put, have a top-down screen so I can see everything that's going on in front of me, everything, and try, tell my character, okay, I want you to move around here, around this area, so you don't run straight into the middle of a gunfire and get your ass shot. I want you to run around this pillar and come around here and set up shop here so we can go ahead and attack together. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and send this third character right here. I'm going to send him to go ahead to the back here, and we're going to close them in a pincer motion. So we can go ahead and say, yes, let's do that. You can't do a pincer motion inside of, pincer tactic rather, inside of, in any other game. Mass Effect 3, for example, for the PC or the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3. Well, at least the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, I know for a fact you can't do it. I don't know if you can do it for the PC or not, but I sincerely doubt that you can. But the reality of it is that if you have more, that's where I want my game, that's where I want my time and money to be spent. And that's enhancing the gameplay. And you probably don't even know what a pincer tactic is, do you? That's when you kind of close in on them. You kind of make it so. Anyway, the reality of it is this. I mean, dude, like you have said, you can't play sales, right? You can't play sales. Well, you can't play resolutions either. And speaking of resolutions, do you realize that there are certain other games out there that are not 1080p that are actually on the PlayStation 3, but are good games. There is, of course, God of War 3. There is, of course, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. There is also Starhawk. There is also a lot of games out there. In fact, the only game that actually that I can remember that was recently that was 1080p was, in fact, I think it was Gran Turismo. I think it was Gran Turismo. And how good did that do? That 1080p, and I only got an 84 from Metacritic? Well, you would think, or it was all super mighty in 1080p, that it might have gotten better. Reality of it is that probably if they would have went ahead and focus a lot more on gameplay and a lot more on actual doing textures, you know, such as, I don't know, not leaving the bottom of the car void and all like that, instead of focusing on bringing it to 1080p, they could have left it 720p and did the same exact thing. They probably would have looked and played a lot better, but I'm just saying, what do I know, right? I know that thing only got an 84 for 5 years in development. Anyway, I'm good. I'm going to end it here. That's all I got to say about it now. So, good luck playing your resolutions. I hope it all works out for you.
The truth shall set you free.